Jordan got caught slipping, y'all. These folks can't never spy correctly. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review of Life with Chelsea for Tyler Perry Sistas, Season 7, Episode 13. Okay, so first of all, we was wrong, y'all. We was wrong. We in this together, so we was wrong about the whole Zach and the twins and raising them separately. Fatima was the one who said that the twins are a package deal. I said, look, she too understanding for me. Okay, so Gary over here putting on a show. He over here playing in these folks' face. He talking about something, I'm just trying to find my pregnant fiance, so nobody cares about Penelope. But did anybody catch the man's name, the FBI agent? He mentioned how when she had all her stuff taken from her apartment and all that other stuff, he was there. And I was like, did he have a bald head? Well, yeah, comment down below. Did they say Agent White? What did they say his name was? But the man basically told her that they want her to testify against Gary. They building a case. But when Gary went outside, I was like, Jordan's still in that car. Because Andy told him to leave. She was like, don't make things worse. Don't do nothing crazy. And here he go. Done got caught slipping. But Hudson was telling Gary that he thinks that Andy's still going to be a problem. Real fast, what did y'all think the highlight of this episode was? What did y'all think overall? Comment down below. The thing I'm ready to get to is the Danny and Tony situation. Because I'm interested to know how y'all feel about that. But we might as well get Jordan out the way. So he was in the car listening or whatever. He ends up following Hudson and talking to the girl. Was that the same girl that told the story about him on the news, or is that somebody else? But by the end of the episode, he's outside of, I don't know if he outside of Gary's place or what, but Gary gets in the car. I said, you ain't lock your door. I said, you could at least lock your door. Before we get into Fatima and Zach, I got to mention what they showed at the end of the episode. Karen is asking, look like they only showed Sabrina and Pam. Now, I don't know if anybody else going to be there. I think that Karen had said she was done with them. I said, ain't that crazy how your last resort is these two, the two that you overlooked? But Fatima and Zach ended up talking about the twins or whatever, and he mentioned how he was going to take care of his and Aaron could take care of his, and she was like, the twins are a package deal. So she the one who said that. Another thing that I forgot about is on the preview for next week's episode, Gary tells Jordan that he's going to be the one to come up missing next. I said, they showed that same audio, or they played that same audio on the trailer when he grabbed Andy's arm. Fatima ends up telling Zach to talk to Aaron about co-parenting or whatever. He's like, you don't need to do that or whatever. And I said, I hope that they end up, they ain't got to be friends, but at least be cool. I feel like they have a chance at that. But when she said that whole conversation, I said, you know what, Fatima, I see why. I see why. Now, she's so understanding. I said, every time we see her, well, almost every time we see her, she over here thinking about everybody else. I said, at some point, you got to think about yourself, too. Meanwhile, Karen always over here, Fatima, I wonder who put you up to this. But she did say this time, was it Fatima or Danny? But Zach and Karen end up talking on the phone or whatever. And at first I was like, okay, she ain't going to say that about that situation. But she did end up saying, her baby's not going to be raised separately. But by the way he was talking, you would think that. But at the same time, I said again, I don't know. It's a difficult situation. And I wrote down, I said, she always think Fatima. Every time, it really never be Fatima. It was Danny, then it was Zach in that situation. Fatima ended up confiding in Andy about Karen. Then they started talking about Gary. And Fatima was trying to tell her she doesn't think working with the FBI is a good thing because they may not stick to their word. And I say, look, what was I watching that day about the FBI? Was it General Hospital? It was something. And I was like, how they know that the FBI really gonna do what they say they gonna do? Maurice and Carrie's still into it, and she seemed like she's trying to get him fired. And then, Sabrina, how do y'all feel about her getting the treatment in her office? Do y'all think that some of the co-workers could use that against her? Then they showed that lady, y'all. That lady that was at the bank with Maurice, she was in his line. And I was like, I remember her from some movies, but the main movie was Marry Me for Christmas. Hey, y'all seen that? Matter of fact, I think she played in all of them. It was Marry Me for Christmas, Chandler, Family Vacation, or something like that. It says Dita West. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. But I say I love when Tyler Perry, or I don't know if he was in charge of casting or not, but I love when he gets older characters or characters that have been in a lot of movies or you can easily recognize them. Aaron ended up stopping by to see Karen. And look, I think about what Zach said. Zach was like, you let Karen just walk all over you and how she treats you and all this other stuff. But he ends up stopping by or whatever. How did y'all feel about that scene with him and Karen and then him and Zach coming down below? But yeah, he revealed that he invested, or I think Pam revealed that he invested in Roots to Riches. I'm ready to see how that goes. And he was just telling Karen how she should be upfront about her situation or whatever. And she was like, she's still trying to process it. But Karen ended up telling him about her phone conversation with Zach. And he done took his happy behind over there to the basketball court to confront him. How did y'all feel about that whole scene? I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because they had valid points. He told the truth about how Karen be doing him. And Aaron told the truth about the babies. He was saying how he don't care about none of that. He willing to step up. And he was like, I ain't no deadbeat. He ain't said it like that, but y'all know. But Aaron was basically saying he want to work together with Zach. And I said, I would like to see that. I feel like something gonna go wrong. But I also say that whole scene, remember that other scene where Aaron, I was talking about it the other day in a review. They was in the same spot on the basketball court. And Zach revealed how every time he see him, he want to be nice or whatever. And that makes him like him more and more or whatever. I know what he said. Zach told Aaron he always trying to save Karen. She don't need saving. She don't need nobody to save her. Trust me. And after that whole scene, I was like, I feel like they could be cool. I really do. I got a question for y'all. Do y'all feel like it's possible for Zach and Aaron to be cooler before? Would it be possible for Zach and Aaron to be cooler before it would be Karen and Fatima? I said cooler. I said cooler. Then you got Trey over here. He gonna waltz his look. Look what Karen got going on to make these men act how they been acting. He done went changed. He done changed out his uniform. Wasn't he wearing a uniform? I think a brown shirt and something else or whatever. I said he done waltzed his little happy tail. And I said, man, I wish he would have went after Pam instead. But he was trying to take her out, and she told him, look, I'm pregnant. Look, I'm pregnant. Hello, Earth to Trey. He was like, I don't care nothing about that. He ain't scared of it or whatever. And she said, that's what scares her. Then we might as well go on slide. I said we might as well. We about to be at the end of this doggone review. We might as well slide on over here to Danny's house. Slide on over here to Danny's house. So she wanted to tell about Karen's 2 baby daddies. So instead, she decided to play charades. Ain't that what it's called? She over here, you got to guess or whatever. And she's like, if you guessed, then I didn't tell you and all that. I don't know if that's what she said, but that's what she said. You get me? Sabrina ended up figuring it out or whatever. But I don't think anybody has had a chance to fully react. But she was like, should I call her? And in the midst of their whole little situation, Tony came his little mad tail up in here. And I said, I'm conflicted about that. I'm conflicted because on one hand, if you're watching somebody kids, you're supposed to watch them, obviously. Then the girl slid it in a doggone pocket, and I knew once she slid them in her pocket, something was going to happen. Then on the other side of things, you should have watched your own kids, obviously. He was mad about the handcuffs or whatever. And she was like, what did she tell him? Dog, I ain't write it down. Let me see. I said she had a good point because she was like, you should be more concerned about the fact that she's over here, don't know how to act in other folks' house. I said, right on. They both had valid points. How do y'all feel about that? Another thing I was like, I like that Danny speaks up for herself. Now I got a question. Y'all know, season 8, they say that Gary's supposed to get attacked. Zach had a conversation with Fatima about her cousin, Madam, or whatever. He says Gary gonna get what's coming to him or whatever. And then he kept on saying how not to call your cousin. And then she gave him that look. So I said, is we about to see Madam? Or are we going to see Madam? I should say. Like, are we about to see her again or whatever? But yeah, do y'all think that Madam people is gonna be the ones that attack Gary? Then they showed, we already talked about Jordan, but we might as well finalize it. They showed Jordan again. He in the doggone car. He over here, I understand, he trying to find his sister or whatever. He in the car. He ain't got the doors locked. Not that they would do anything anyways, but then he on the phone with Andy or whatever. So Gary just slide in like it was nothing and just sit there. But the audio, did y'all catch that audio where they was like, Gary was like, I make sure you the one that go missing? Did y'all also catch that in the trailer for the second half of season 7 when he was grabbing Andy on? I was like, look, they tricking us. I told y'all they be combining clips to make us tune in to the next episode. But that's it. Let me know y'all thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe. I mean, have a great rest of the night and be safe. Deuces.